Hey, what's up, Pyra peeps? Greg Gordon here at the 2018 NAMM. Really psyched to share with you some great interviews and footage we're about to go get with some of our favorite partners, Ableton, McDSP, Output, Avid. We're gonna go talk to a whole bunch of folks and check out their new products for 2018. Super psyched to be here and psyched to share it with you. All right, let's go check it out.
Our aim being hardware and software. So the software and hardware that we're showing today are the classic Empirical Labs EL8 distressor. We've got the Teletronics LA28 compressor, we've got the NEED 1073 preamp, everybody loves that, and the API 2500 mix bus compressor. So we're gonna see if the plugins are up to par with the outboard gear, and it's for you to decide. You can sit here and you can look at your spectrum, and you can actually edit your spectrum just by changing these knobs, and you can modulate your spectrum all kinds of different ways.
We're introducing the ITAR. It's been 4 years in development, and what it is the ultimate guitar-based controller.
We found on Diplo's Snapchat one day that he was playing a riff that sounded a lot like it may have come from one of our instruments, and lo and behold, it was him playing this song, Mi Gente, on Exhale.
Can you just maybe tap on the MIDI modulation matrix and just show us a little bit about how we interface with that?
Absolutely. So right here,
such a cool piece.
Right here is the modulation matrix. This patch is particularly busy, so maybe what I'll do is load a simpler patch here for you, so you can really kind of just dive in and see how that works. So let's just grab a basic, super basic wavetable sound here. So right here with this modulation matrix, I can route any of these modulators to any destination. And all I have to do is select the destination, like for example this wavetable position, and that shows up right here in my modulation matrix. So if I wanted to assign the LFO, all I have to do is click and drag up or down. Now, if I wanted to do multiple routings here, I could easily route this LFO to any destination I want. If I click on my filter, for example, I can say, let's send some LFO there. Maybe I want to add this second wavetable oscillator, and maybe I want its position to be affected by the envelope. So I can turn the envelope control, I want envelope 2. By the way, if I want to reset any of these values, all I have to do is double click on them and that value will reset to 0. So it's a super fast way to create these patches and kind of explore different modulation options.
So I'm just curious, can you talk a little bit about the orchestra in Budapest?
Yeah.
And why you guys chose that?
So with this engine and analog strings, we have a crew of people, soloists, as well as different ensembles that we work with at the Budapest Hall. BCM. So we went there last year and had like about a week, day in and day out at this one hall. And we started a conversation and relationship with this orchestra, so they were very familiar with our techniques and what we really ask of soloists and artists. But one, we wanted something that was taking organic and very raw instruments, people who play brass and winds all the time, but then our own take and flavor on it is where we are kind of creating a hybrid instrument, taking what they were doing and blending all of the different techniques that they bring to the table as artists themselves and that we bring to the table as technologists. And it's always fun kind of going into a hall and just bringing everyone together, showcasing a lot of the times unsung heroes within an orchestra, and really highlighting them and what they do and then putting our own spin on it.
So look who I get to run into here at NAMM.
Hey, what's up, Gregory?
Himself.
That's right. Hey, I'm
just here demonstrating an instrument called the djembe. It's a drum that interfaces with your iPad, and it's got its own dedicated software. It's got 1,000 levels of sensitivity, virtually no latency whatsoever. It's very portable, and it's just really amazing.
You need a reason to put something on the stereo bus. The stereo bus is very sacred territory, and so have a reason. Don't just randomly do it because it's there. Think of a reason that you need it. Now, what are some reasons that you might need it? Well, you might think, well, it doesn't sound as loud as it should, but my meters are already banging in the red. Well, that's a sign that you're doing something further up the process. So take a look at your kick and take a look at your bass. One of the things I like to do, and it doesn't always work, but flip one of them out of phase, and the frequency that disappears the most is the frequency you want to attack on one or the other. So let's say you put them out of phase and your 50 goes way down. Now put it back in phase and select. If you take 50 out of the kick, does it still sound good? If you take 50 out of the bass, does it still sound good? Now for a last resort, use a compressor and side chain it with a kick, and put that on the bass, and then that'll pull the entire bass down. If you happen to have a E400, you can select a frequency that you want to go down, and that's what I do. So I'll select like the offending frequency, and whenever my kick drum hits, it'll just pull down 50 or 80 or whatever. And so that's a thought process, not something to go try, but try the concept of trying to get the stereo bus happy. I think of the stereo bus as a place where you put grumpy old products, and limiters just hate working. They don't like it. They get angry. They spit. They fart. They distort. They just make your music sound non-musical. So try to give them as little as possible to work with.
I've got battery with all of its kick, snare, hats and things all routed to the different subgroups. And I can now go to my new track preset area, and if I search for battery, you'll see that I've got a battery with reverb, a sub bus, and my various outputs. I can either double click or just drag and drop, and that's going to bring the plugin with all of its various outputs and its sub bus all together with some MIDI information in one double click or a simple drag and drop into any session, so that you can, once you've set it up, you don't have to keep setting it up. Right.
Play and record buttons right here. We've got new song, sound check, and volume buttons right here. On the front we have an omnidirectional condenser mic, and here's an output, headphone output, 1/8 inch jack. And then on the back we have two Grace Design microphone preamps. These are combo inputs, so we can use an XLR or 1/4 inch, depending on whether you do a microphone or a guitar. And then there's also phantom power, if you want to use a nicer mic. We have our power button, an additional headphone output, and an input for to power and charge the device. This will run on about 4 to 6 hours of continuous recording before the battery dies, which is, we think is pretty good for kind of getting ideas and then leaving and coming back.
I like to use multiple speakers in the course of a mix. I might use no less than 3 different speakers, plus headphones a little bit, plus earbuds, plus my trusty laptop.